Yes, my people, what's going on? It's your favorite host with the most, the K, the I, the Z, and the O, baby. Yes, it feels so good to be back. It feels so good to be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Unburdened. Unburdened is my own public personal diary where I get to share some of my experiences with you guys, and then we get to what? We get to enjoy. So if you are new to the gang, please welcome to the gang. If you are returning, you already know, baby. It's still nice. It's still kicking. We are still here. Guys, this feels so nice to be back. Change of scenery. As you can see, new environment, new everything. Life is nice. Life is nice. But without wasting any more of your time, let's get into today. Yeah. So remember what to do. Do like, do share, do comment, and do subscribe. Why? Because it's like paradise.
It's like paradise. It's like paradise. Do you got dividends, key? You won't see a difference, key. Nobody rhyme like me. I feel like B.I.G. She lost her faith in me. I got the soul in me. I'm in my own damn league. I'm in my own damn. Never mind. What you doing?
Yes, my people, you are still here with your favorite host with the most, the tall, the dark, and the handsome, baby. You already know. Guys, I feel like I owe you an explanation as to why I disappeared for a while, yeah? I feel like I owe you an explanation as to why I was gone. First of all, let me start by saying I apologize for disappearing without any other explanation or any explanation at all, yeah? So what happened was, I feel like in my head, I decided to take a break, but that break ended up taking longer than expected. Mainly because I feel like I gave up on a lot of things. I was feeling very beat down, because I had expectations of where this should be at this time. Of course, I'm not expecting rapid growth, but I was expecting it to be somewhere at this time, and it was not getting there. So I feel like that and school and everything, I was putting too much effort into school, too much effort into finding a job, too much effort into creating content, and none of them was producing fruitful results. And in my head, I was like, I just need to turn off everything for a while and then I'll resume. I think in the process of me doing that, I got comfortable with not having to worry about a lot of things that I ended up giving up on most of the things, right? Because the only thing I was now recently focused on was just school, finishing my thesis and all. I had given up on even finding jobs because I have an alarm every day at 6 o'clock that rings for me to apply for jobs. You understand? But since that was not, I ended up just snoozing the alarm. Every time it rings, I would snooze it. But yeah, now we're back. Now we're feeling frosty. Now we're feeling nice. Now we're feeling energized. We are ready to take on the world. Remember, every day that shines is an opportunity for you to start again. Every day that shines is an opportunity for you to write a new chapter in your life. So do not forget that part. I know I'm not the only one who's going through this. Hence, I am emphasizing that every day you wake up is a new chance to change your life. Whatever you're going through, it passes, it will pass, it shall pass. Trust and believe that the Almighty Lord has your back in whatever it is. It might stress you for now, but eventually it will come to a stop. Yeah. Alright, speaking of that, please, speaking of prayers, let us pray for Shebeshitz. Shebeshitz was involved in an accident that resulted in him losing his daughter. I know most of the people are like, oh, Shebeshitz is a reckless driver. Shebeshitz this, Shebeshitz that. This was eventually going to happen. But at the end of the day, it's a loss of a life and a loss of a loved one. So I understand criticizing someone, but in this time, I don't think it's the time to criticize. Generally, in my personal opinion, I feel like people who criticize someone who has lost a loved one, whether it's their fault or not, I feel like it's a bit unfair. I feel like we should be there and pray that in these hard times, the good Lord is with him. In these hard times, the good Lord is with him. All right. Moving on. Let's not depress each other. This far. Yes. In other news, what's the other news? The other news is, yes, South Africa just got into a coalition. They recently had elections and now they are into a GNU, Government of National Unity. Yes, Government of National Unity, GNU. They are now in a coalition government, and I think the parties that are now in coalition, if I'm not mistaken, is ANC and DA. Most confusing thing ever. Yeah, most confusing thing ever. I don't want to say it's wrong or it's right, because just like EFF, right? EFF wants to say ANC are sellouts for joining hands with the white people to go into government, blah, 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 blah. But they did the same thing when they had the chance in 2016, right? They joined forces with DA, which is the white people, to try and alienate ANC. So I wouldn't say they're sellouts, but my main concern is the difference in policies, right? Their policies are extremely different. One advocates for more government intervention or involvement, and the other tries to minimize as much government interference as possible. DA wants to decentralize everything, decentralized mineral resources, decentralized electricity, decentralized everything. Not to mention that they were against South Africa taking Israel. Was it Israel or it was? Yeah. Palestine. They were against South Africa defending Palestine in the International Court of Justice. So I don't know how this is going to work. Because there are also rumors, and I say rumors. There are also rumors that there was a secret meeting where ANC was paid to work with DA in this coalition government. So I don't know. How ANC is going to work through this. But it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time to see. It's an exciting time. I'm really curious as to whether this is going to be good for South Africa or this is just going to be trash. Yeah. Maybe it will be good. Maybe it will be not. We don't know. Right. Speaking of elections, right? And government and all. I was watching Power, right? And I just want to ask these two questions. Random questions. But I found that this is very intriguing. I don't know who's writing the script for Power, especially the classroom ones, like book 2, Power book 2. I have no idea who is writing that script for that classroom, but whoever is, that man is thinking or that woman is thinking, they are overthinking. Their brain is working overtime. I feel like that's the most informative part of that whole show. I get so intrigued and excited every time they bring up a classroom, because most of the debates they have are really interesting and the opinions they raise are very, very interesting, I must say. Yeah. So the last question they asked, right? The last question they asked was, what gives the people the edge or the want to govern people's lives, right? What makes you think you are a good leader? What makes you think, yes, I have the right to tell people, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this. And this is the law of this country. You must follow this law because I said so. What gives people that edge? What makes you think you specifically are a good leader? And this is directed mostly to our African leaders. Before they sat in that parliament, what was the reason or what gave them the motivation or even the belief? Forget them saying they are in parliament, right? What made them believe that people will believe them enough to vote for them to put them in parliament? What is that edge? What is that want? What is it? I personally, especially in Africa, I believe it's mostly greed. Them niggas are greedy as hell. You understand? Them niggas are greedy, and I think when they come into parliament or when they come into this, they're just like, yeah, now it's my time. Now it's my time to flourish. Now it's my time to make it. Yeah. I don't care who makes it with me, but now I'm making it. Right. So I'm really curious. Even okay, let's take it down. Soccer captains are voted for, right? So that one is okay. But positions that you have to campaign for, like SRC, Student Representative Council, right? What makes you feel like that one is not paid for? So you can't say it's greed. What makes you think that you are the right person for that position? What is it that makes you want to campaign for that position? Is it self-gratification for you to say, yeah, I can do this, right? Or is it because you feel like you can impact change? And if it's you can impact change, what makes you think you are better than the next person or the person before for you to be able to impact that particular change? That's my question. I hope you guys can comment down below. I'm really interested in what is that edge that gives, that people have, that they think they can govern over other people. I'm really, really curious as to what it is. Yeah. All right. Question number two that I wanted to ask before we get into this conversation is, I was watching McG. Yeah. I was watching McG and they had this young debate. Is it gender-based violence if it's between the same sex? For example, right? For example, if it's a gay relationship, 2 gay niggas and one is abusive, right? Will that be regarded as gender-based violence? If it's 2 lesbians and they are fighting, will that be regarded as gender-based violence? It's the same gender, they're in the relationship. Is it gender-based violence? Because if we are taking it literally, it's not gender-based violence. Because by definition of the name alone, the violence has to be based on gender. Meaning one gender has to be opposite to the other. So it can't be counted as gender-based violence. But also, I don't know. I hope the LGBTQ community plus can help me, right? Can help me in this regard. The alphabet community, they can help me in this regard. I feel like in this relationship there has to be a dominant partner. By dominant I mean like there has to be a more dominant person than the other, right? And the more dominant partner, I feel like, would be considered masculine. Right? Masculine. I don't know. I'm just assuming that there is such a thing. So in that regard, shouldn't it be also gender-based? Because one will view themselves as feminine and the other will view themselves as masculine. Right? Like the same way you have studs. Studs view themselves as masculine, right? They view themselves as alphas, and then most studs will date the more feminine characters, right? So wouldn't that now be the gender-based violence in that situation? I don't know. What's your guys' opinion on that matter? What's your guys' opinion? Is it gender-based violence if the same sex are involved? I don't know. Yes, my people, we're about to kickstart. And as you know, every time before we kickstart, we must kickstart it with a what? With a nice fun fact. So I'm going to search a fun fact for you guys, and then we are going to discuss it. Where that facts are. Yo, this feels so nice, guys. It feels so nice to be back. It feels so nice to be interacting with you guys. I had missed this. Fun fact for the day, yeah? Fun fact for the day reads as follows. Intelligent people tend to have less friends than the average person. The smarter the person is, the more selective they become. I feel like this is true. I don't know if you guys have watched Scorpion, right? For those who have watched, then they will know this. For those who haven't, but Walter O'Brien said something very interesting. He said the higher the IQ, the lesser the EQ. You understand? The higher the intelligence quotient, the lower the emotional quotient. Or whatever the Q is. I'm assuming it's that. Right? So someone with high IQ tends to be insensitive. And someone with low IQ tends to be more sensitive. You get. So I feel like that's what contribute most to that. And most of the guys, we know the nerds at home, they were bullied. In all institutions of education, if you had a nerd, those people were bullied half of the time. They were called teachers' pets, especially in high school days. They were called teachers' pets. They were called all sorts of names. They were even flushed at some point. They stick your head in the toilet and then they flush you. Yeah. So I feel like they were also ostracized based on most of the majority, let me not say all, but majority of the intelligent people don't necessarily have athletic abilities, right? So I feel like they were also ostracized in that regard, that they do not have athletic abilities. So they tend to be alone in most situations. Do you agree? I agree with myself. Whether you agree with me, I agree with myself. It's none. I do not want to hear it. I'm the tall, the dark, and the handsome. So you must take whatever I say. Yeah? But I want to hear your opinion. I think it's true. I think it's true. All the nerds I knew, yes. Well, majority of the nerds I knew did not have as many friends. They had very few friends. Yeah, I believe so. All right, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic on Unburdened is unburdening failure. We are going to rip apart what it takes for you to get over failure and what it means to feel like a failure, right? Today's topic is very, very irrelevant because to me, mostly, I think I had talked about failure before, but to me, right now is very, very important because majority of the time I feel like I am stuck in one place repeating the same thing. You wake up, you study, you sleep. You wake up, you study, you sleep. Hit the gym now and then. But the routine is almost the same. And mind you, I like routine. I like repetitive things. I like doing the same thing. I don't like disrupting my routine. Hence, I know what I'm going to do in a week before I even start the week, because majority of the time it's a cycle. I love it, but at some point I also want it to evolve, right? It should be a cycle that is evolving each day, right? So today I'm on level 1, I'm repeating level 1, level 2 we climb, level 3 we climb, but of late I feel like we're just going circle. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way, right? So hence I want to talk about the topic of failure and feeling like you are stuck in one place, right? Alright, so let's get into question 1. Question 1 reads as follows: how often do you feel like you are in a loop? For me, it's been, especially off late. Of late, I've been feeling like, guys, am I sure I want to do this? Because I'm almost every day just repeating the same thing. And I had bigger plans, you understand? I had planned, by now I should be sitting in a comfy office doing the things I studied for, gravitating towards a better life, a better future. By now I should be minister of who, or my plan was to work in a bank, right? I was supposed to be doing anything. Hence, after my master's, I was really adamant in going home, right? Because my career path, my plan, even why I started master's because I felt like I was not ready for, I was not ready for work environment, right? I felt like I was still too raw to go work in a 9 to 5 or to go be in a workspace, right? And especially because of the stories you hear about people in a workspace, like the ill treatment, the bullying that goes on in work environment. Yeah. So I felt like I was not ready for that aspect of life. So I was just like, nah, let me just do my master's. And then when I finished my master's, then COVID happened. I was the class of COVID 2020. COVID class of 2020. That was my graduation slogan. COVID class of 2020. So COVID was hard and tickets were heavy. And I was like, I'm already in school. and the situation doesn't look like it's about to get better anytime soon. So why don't I just finish school all at once and then I forget about it, right? That's how I made the decision to do PhD. And now I feel like it's just been the same thing. It's just been the same thing. And mind you, PhD is an addition to knowledge or experience, right? It's an addition to knowledge based on experience. That's what it is, right? PhD is an addition to knowledge based on experience. But I feel like I've been adding knowledge, but not based on experience. You get, I'm doing energy economics, like industrial economics, where I'm studying the emission of carbon emission, green energy, greenhouse gases and all of those things, right? That's what I'm studying. As based on the UN, this is most important because of the climate change, right? We need to regulate the climate change because, hey, try and feel it here in China, my guy. It is worse. It's humid. It's hot. My dog, it's on fire. It's on fire. If on fire was a person, it would be this country. You get, and it's always fluctuating. It's always fluctuating. It's on, it's off, it's off, it's on. It's on the extreme ends. If you are living in China, you are on the extreme ends. The only time you're in the middle is spring and autumn. Apart from that, you are just on the extreme ends. It's very hot. It's very cold. So there's no in between. You get, recently we hit 34 degrees. My guy, 34 and it's humid. Humid. Like when you do, you feel like you are breathing in hot air. You get, so yeah, that's what I've been studying. And I feel like it's just been a repetition day in, day out, where you're just doing anything. Like there's no challenging thing there's no new challenging thing that comes up. Hence, I prioritize learning a new skill because I feel like every day is, tomorrow, yesterday and tomorrow are the same day. You get. All right, let's move to question number 2. What is failure in your own words? In my own words, failure is not reaching a set goal. Yeah, in my own words, failure is not reaching a set goal. Like, for example, I had planned that I would be graduating now. And I was not able to graduate now. Right? So my next goal is to defend in September. Yeah. But my initial goal was, hey, defend now, graduate now, and go home and start this life thing. Start fighting a new battle, try new avenues, and I couldn't meet that. So that I consider failure. I had said that by this time, at least this channel should have hit 200. And I looked at how far I was from 200. I was like, ain't no way. But funny enough, the React content was doing well because it was making great numbers. It was hitting great numbers. I think because of the search engine as well. Like if your title is the most searched, most people are most likely to view that particular thing. So I feel like it was nice. It was a breath of fresh air. It was a breath of fresh air, but I was not reaching the set target. Even with jobs, right? I was applying, but it was not going anywhere. You apply to get employed, but I was applying and I was not getting employed. And that was frustrating me a lot. So in my own words, failure is the ability not to reach goals, right? Failure is the ability not to reach goals. What is your biggest fear with regards to failure and why? My biggest fear with regards to failure is not necessarily what people will say. All right. It's not necessarily what people say. Of course, majority of it lies on what are people going to say. And that's the one thing we struggle with, because when you fail, you have enemies that are just waiting to to pounce on your failure, tell you, hey, you couldn't do it. Hey, it's because of this. Hey, he thought he was better. Hey, now look at him. Now look at this. Now look at this. Now look at this. It's mostly what people would say about you than what you would say about yourself. You get? And also, for me, I am my biggest critique, right? So in situations where I could not achieve my goal, I beat myself up and I start wondering if I am inadequate enough to have executed said mission or said goal. You understand? I start thinking, I don't know, could I have done something different? Or is it because I am just unable to achieve certain things? You understand? But that's not my biggest fear. My biggest fear about failing is snapping out of it. I've seen people who life beat them down, like it showed them flames, and they just never bounced out of it. Like they went from bad to extremely worse, like hopeless worse. So that for me is my fear. Yes, I have failed, but can I snap out of it? You understand? Like now I was feeling beat. I had failed in a lot of things, and they were draining me. But would I be able to, snap out of it and start to fight again? Because sometimes we get very comfortable with, you fail and you feel bad, and then you're just like, maybe this was just not meant for me. That giving up aspect of failure is what I am most afraid of. I don't know if you guys watch I Blew It. There's this show on, well, it plays on Mzansi Magic, but they mostly upload it also on YouTube, right? They have these famous footballers. They have your something like that. Your famous boxers, your lottery winners, your musicians, your soccer players, like people who were making it big, people who were living the life that people would dream of. There's this guy, Junior Kanye said his signing bonus, just for him to sign a contract with Kaizer Chiefs, he got 100,000 just for you to put your signature on a paper. 100,000 just for you to put a signature on your paper. And now the boy was struggling. Like, he was struggling. Even now he's trying to make a comeback, like he's trying to rebuild himself and come back to the light. But he's trying, but he's not getting there. You get? And one thing I'm grateful for is he is trying. There's this footballer. Why am I forgetting his name? He was also a very good South African footballer. Now him is worse. Like, he has given himself to alcohol. Homeboy is drinking 24/7, like every day. He has no ambition to come back. He has no desire to be great again. You understand? He's just comfortable with where his life ended and what his life is now currently. Like, he doesn't care if tomorrow is better. And that's my fear. Like, that's my biggest worry, of being stuck in that loop of failure and not being able to snap out of it. Yes, people can say whatever they want. You fail, someone will come and say, hey dog, you failed. You are a failure. You get? My biggest fear is that narrative not changing. There are people who celebrate your failure regardless. It's just like what they say. Success is like pregnancy. When you're having sex, they will criticize you. Oh, you are a hoe, you are a what, you are a what, you are a what. Right? And then when you're pregnant, everyone wants to congratulate you. Oh, congratulations. Look at you. Hey, baby daddy, baby mama. You're doing well. Hey. And those are the very same people who were calling you names before. They are now the ones who are suddenly shouting, congratulations, you are doing well, I wish this was me, blah, 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 right? But in the time where you're going through it, no one gave a fuck. So for me, I feel like my greatest fear is being stuck in that loop of failure. Because yes, we can all fail, guys. We can all feel bad that we don't meet certain criteria, but it doesn't mean you can't try a different way. You can't try something new. Maybe that's not meant for you, yeah? Try something new. That's why I like Robot Boy. Robot Boy is always learning. Oh, yeah, there's a guy called Robot Boy. Yeah. But Robot Boy is always learning a new skill each day. You understand? Nigga can play the piano, nigga can dance, nigga can sing, nigga can make poetry. And he tries as much as possible to live out of his father's limelight, because his father is one of the most famous poets in South Africa. But he tries to avoid that as much as possible. So I feel like in that regard, stepping away from that and learning a new skill every day, sometimes it might land you in luck. You might just discover something that will make you snap out of your failure. So I just believe in trying to fight and get a new thing. Also, one of the few things I fear about failing is my parents not seeing the fruits of their labor. That's one of the things. Like in life, one of the things I do not want is for my parents to not see the fruits of their labor. Like at least they must see return on investment. They've been investing, guys. It's been a long investment. It's been a long investment. I'm 29 and I've not been in school for, I've gone to school for 95% of my life. I've not gone to school for only 4 years. Only 4 years out of 29, I was not in school. Not even 4, 2. So it's probably like 97% of my life I was in school. Because there was preschool, kindergarten, and then, yeah. So they must see something, guys. There must be return on investments to a certain degree. All those nappies that were bought before I was in school, the tuition of school, the food of school, everything that pertains to school, I feel like I owe it to them for them to see the fruits of their labor. And my biggest worry is the disappointment they will feel if they don't see the benefits of what they were investing in. You get, that's my biggest fear. Everyone can invest something. Everyone can do something. But at the end of the day, we are supposed to see what we invested in. And my biggest worry is if they don't get to see it. I'll give a typical example, right? When my grandmom passed, it disorientated me because majority of the things one thing I wanted the most, or one of the things I wanted the most, was for him to be able to say, oh, my grandson is a doctor. I really wanted that. And I know my grandma was a show off, guys. She was one of the biggest show offs I know. Yeah. Like you would, oh, my son just came back, did this. Oh, my grandson is doing this. Oh, this. You understand? So the one bragging right I wanted to give her was that one. For her to say, hey, guess what? My grandson is a doctor. You know? And her passing away before seeing that, it really disorientated my vision a lot, right? And those are some of the things that can knock you off the wheel and then you never bounce back. But slowly but surely, we're getting back into routine. We're getting back into rhythm. Shout out to a lot of people still. That are helping me get into the routine, yeah? Alright. Last question. How do you move past failure? I'll tell you how I'm moving past current feelings, right? Majority of it, shout out to my beautiful girlfriend, yeah? Shout out to my beautiful girlfriend for always standing and sticking by the boy. And my friends as well. I remember there was a time OT called me. He was like, yo, come over to my place. Funny enough, even before going, I knew what he was going to talk about. Like, even before going, I already knew what the conversation was going to be. And then when I got there, he was like, oh, dog, I've been seeing you are slacking now. What's going on? Like, there's no motivation, there's no drive. Where is the drive? Where's the motivation? Like, what's going on? And I explained everything to him. I told him, my dog, this is what I've been feeling lately. Like, my grind is it's been stagnant. It's been stagnant. And we talked about it. We hashed out a lot of things, and when I left there, I had perspective. Already, I had decided, it's time to bounce now. Like, it's time to regain routine. Because once I'm in a routine, I know I can achieve a lot because I'll be doing the same thing over and over and over again, right? And once I have my routine, I'll reach goals, you get. And also my mom, guys, every time I speak to my mom, I get so excited because she's the one person who is supporting and not asking questions. She has faith in outcome. Like, she has faith in me making it, and she never asks how you're doing it, And that relief of pressure that, okay, someone believes in me and does not know how I do it, but knows I will do it, is all I need, And she's always in my corner. Now, she even if I don't call, like, because we have these weekly calls, whether come rain, come sunshine. If those weekly calls don't come, she would call. She would say, yo, you told me you're going to call me every week. What's going on? Right? What's going on? And I love that. Like, we are now integrated. Even my younger sister, I'm not a communicative person, right? And we have grown so close with my younger sister ever since. I love her, but now we are even more closer than we were before. Even when things happen, she just sends me iMessage games, and then we start playing. I'm like, oh, she sends me memes on IG. It becomes nice. Dog, we vibing. You get. So those people are really contributing, and the small circle of friends that I have created in JU as well. Your Quincy here, who's now my housemate, he's a young boy filled with energy and very fun to be around. You have your Armases, rude nigga, who is very focused and determined to achieve certain things in life. Another breath of fresh air, your Jonathans. Oh, shout out to Jonathan, by the way. Jonathan just graduated today. As I'm shooting today, which is Thursday, is Jonathan's graduation. Think about that. Homeboy just graduated, so shout out to him. You have your Lakishas. You have, it's a small, neat, tidy group of people who are happy and are looking out for each other. So shout out to them. So how I move past failure is with those people, like that support and reminder of why I want to do what I am doing. Most of the time, the reason we fail is we lose perspective as to why we are doing what we do. So when I remember why I'm doing what I do, I'll get motivation to redo what I was doing and get back on track. Either I get back on track doing it a different way, or I get back on track trying the same way and seeing if I can improve or correct the mistakes I have done previously. You get? So I feel like the only way to move past is to have support and remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. And don't give up. Don't give up. The biggest thing about failure, or the most painful thing about failure, is not being able to bounce back from failure. If you can bounce back from failure, you are good. You are set for life. Trust and believe me. Nothing can ever stop you. We survived Corona. Guys, we survived COVID where we were locked down. And now we get to move around freely. Nothing can hold us back. Nothing should hold us back. Right now, the world is our oyster and we can make with it whatever we want. We have a fresh frying pan. It's up to us what ingredients we put into that pan. So never give up. Keep trying. Keep trying. Tomorrow is a brand new day to fight a new fight. You get me? Yes, my people. Yo, today has been heavy. I've been offloading. I've been talking. I feel like I've been yapping a lot and I've been repeating myself a lot. But it's nice. It's good times. It's fun times. It feels nice to be back talking to you, my people. Why were you laughing? Did I say something funny? Yes, my people, this brings us to the end of today's show. Do like, do share, do comment, and do subscribe. Guess what? This is about to be a weekly upload. Yes, sir. So do like, do share, do comment, and do subscribe. Why? Ish, guys. I need to get a haircut. I know this is looking brazy. First thing my dad talked about when I talked to him on the phone was, yo, dog, you need to cut your fucking hair. It's looking crusty, it's looking crappy, and he doesn't like hair, so you can just imagine. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a privilege. It's been nice. I've been enjoying this, and it will be nice to have you week in, week out. So, without wasting any more of your time, see you again next week. Do like, do share, do comment, and do subscribe. Why? Because it's like paradise.